In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the front brakes on your Subaru WRX. This will be located behind the front wheel. Let's get started. Using a 19mm socket, remove the 5 lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Remove the bleeder cap from the bleeder. Be sure that this opens and is loose. Snug it back down for now. Using a 14mm wrench or socket, remove the caliper bolts. Be sure they're both loose before removing them. Remove the caliper. We're going to use a hook to hang this, making sure there's no tension on the brake hose. Remove the pads from the bracket, using a flat blade screwdriver. Using a 19mm wrench or socket, remove the caliper bracket bolts. Remove the caliper bracket. Remove the brake rotor. Using a wire brush, clean the hub. Using some copper never sees or some silicone paste, go around the hub, painting it. This will prevent the rust from coming back. We're going to install the rotor backwards. Spray it down with parts cleaner and then wipe it with a clean rag. Flip the rotor over. Do the same thing. I'm going to use an oversized nut and a lug nut to hold my rotor on. Remove the tins from the caliper bracket. Pull the slide pins out. Clean them off with a clean rag. We're going to use some silicone paste. Put a light coating on the pin. Reinstall the pin. The pins with the rubbers may have some friction while going in. It's air getting trapped under that seal. So as you put it in, try to work it around, getting the air out from under that. Make sure that boot clips back onto the caliper if you take it off. Wipe off all the excess grease. Do the same thing on the other pin. Using a wire brush, clean the caliper bracket. Do the same thing on the other side. Using a light coat of caliper grease, we're going to paint where the tins are going to go, anywhere they're going to contact. You don't need to worry about the middle part. Using a clean rag, I'm going to clean inside. Make sure there's no grease that'll get on our rotor when we install the bracket. Install the tins. Be sure they're fully seated. The tin with the tabs that go down the side are for the bottom. Now we're ready to install our caliper bracket. We're going to install a bleeder bottle onto the bleeder fitting. Get our wrench on there. We're going to open that bleeder up. Using a caliper pushback tool or a large pair of pliers, we're going to push the caliper pistons back. When you have two piston like this, you want to go nice and slow. That extra drip is from the side of the bottle. Once you have the caliper pushed back all the way, go ahead and close that bleeder fitting. Get it nice and snug. Remove the bleeder bottle. We're going to take a clean rag and some parts cleaner and clean up all of the brake fluid. Reinstall the bleeder cap. Install the caliper bracket. Get the bolts started. Snug the bolts down. Install the brake pads. I'm going to get them started in the top. Using a flat blade screwdriver to help the bottom of this side in. Be sure that this tab is riding on the shim. Do the same thing on the outside. Remove the caliper from the hook and install it onto the bracket. Install the caliper bolts. If you were using one, go ahead and remove the hook now. Torque the caliper bolts to 100 foot-pounds. Torque the caliper bolts to 20 foot-pounds. Remove the lug nut holding the rotor. Install the wheel. Get the lug nut started by hand. Snug the nuts down. Torque the wheels in a star pattern to 89 foot-pounds. And you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.